Hey, welcome to your reading. I hope you all are doing very, very good. Thank you for joining me. So, today's reading is the person on your mind, whether it be platonic, romantic, friendship, colleague, an ex, a family member. But how would they feel? How would they react if you were to reach out to them? All right. And we do have four groups for you to choose from. We have group one, the amethyst, group two, the clear quartz, group three, the rainbow moonstone, and group four, the rose quartz. Okay, so group one, two, three, and four. How would they react? How would they feel if you were to reach out to them? So if you want to take a moment to choose your group, I will see you in your reading. Hey, welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the first group, the amethyst, then this is for you, alright? So the person on your mind, how would they react? How would they feel if you were to reach out to them? Okay. So we have the Ten of Pentacles upright, Four of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So for a lot of you here, it doesn't feel like they would react well if you were to reach out to them. It feels like there could have already been a very definitive ending between you both. Maybe, maybe you both have moved on. So they could maybe find it a bit, I don't know if weird is the right word, but they would find it, okay, like, what do they want if you were to reach out to them? Yeah, it just doesn't feel like they would react well. They would feel like you are trying to get in between something, like maybe trying to, I don't know if ruin is the right word, but with that Three of Swords, it could be, I mean, or similar energy, but they do feel like maybe you would get in between something that's going well or okay for them, or something that is like good in their life. It could be get between them and their family, or a relationship, or a friendship. They wouldn't feel angry that you reached out, but they would feel annoyed because in their perspective, they kind of see you as being in this really good place, and they kind of feel like they're not on that level. So it's just like, I don't know, they'll feel like annoyed that you're reaching out to them. And it feels like they wouldn't really want to see that you are in, a good place. So it does feel like there would be a little bit of resentment on their side if you were to reach out. And they may feel like you're trying to mess with their stability, or kind of, I don't know if eavesdrop is the right word. They may feel like you were trying to be like nosy and like kind of see, like they could be going through stuff basically, and like if you were to reach out to them, they could think that you're trying to, get information on, what's really going on with them, what their life is like. And it feels like they wouldn't want to share that. They wouldn't want you to see that, especially considering that they see you as being in a really good place, So they would think that you would, either try to mess with their stability, question their stability, or question maybe is it their living situation? Or question certain things that are going on in their life. And they may even feel concerned for their family or a certain family member if you were to reach out. Because for some of you, for some reason, they do feel like you would have bad intentions in reaching out to them. So I don't know, they may feel like you are trying to take away like a little piece of sunshine that they may have. They may even feel like you're jealous, like maybe jealous that they've moved on, or that they're like you're not in each other's lives anymore. Even if you're not, and that's just their perspective, they would feel like you're only reaching out to share something good about yourself, or talk about yourself and your own life in a positive way, and they feel like maybe they can't really do the same right now. And for some of you, they are worried to hear that you are in a, again, like that you've seen improvements to your life, right? Like they could see you as being in the Ten of Pentacles energy whilst they're in the Four of Wands energy. And they don't feel like they've accomplished enough or accomplished anything significant, maybe since you both kind of went your separate ways. And they feel like you have accomplished something, significant. So they would feel, yeah. Yeah, so some of you, they would feel worried that you are in a new relationship, a good relationship, maybe that you're married or, getting married, or, something else is growing and improving in your life. Like they would feel like you want to talk about your stability and how well things are going for you. And if any of you have been gifted money or you've seen improvements in your finances, maybe you're financially well off or more so than you were when you last saw them, it feels like they don't want for you to confirm that. They don't want communication letting them know that you're in a good place. And it doesn't necessarily feel like jealousy right now. It just feels like they just don't want to know much about you. They don't want to hear it, because for one, they could already know, maybe through social media, maybe what they've seen, or the grapevine. Like they don't feel jealous now, but they would feel that way if you were to actually reach out to them, and if they were to actually hear it come from your mouth, or hear it coming directly from you. If you reached out to them, for some of you, they may feel like you wanted to give something back. But that may only be for a small portion of you. But they would also feel quite like a bit smug and confident if you were to reach out to them. They may brag to someone. But again, like they wouldn't want confirmation that something has worked out for you. And if you did reach out to them, they would feel like you doubt your community, maybe your family, maybe your relationship, maybe your security. And let me see. So they may feel like you're kind of reaching them out as like a last resort or like a back burner kind of option. But yeah, they would feel like they haven't achieved enough, or something they said they would achieve that they haven't achieved. So it feels like they wouldn't want you to know that either. And if you reached out to them, they may be a bit stubborn, and you may remind them of a mistake they made with you as well. So it's like they don't want that reminder too. So we have you are loved. So they would feel like if you reached out to them, they definitely would feel like you still care about them. Yeah, that you still love them. 2 nines came out though. 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords. They may feel selfish in themselves if you were to reach out to them. So we also have you are giving too many fucks, so you're caring too much. So yeah, if you reached out to them, they may feel like you care too much about them, whatever that means. Yeah, they would feel like you still love them, like you still care about them. Like they may feel like, why is this person reaching out to me? You know, why now? And finally, we have you are the best thing to ever happen to you. I mean, for some of you here, it would, if you reached out to them, it would remind them that they didn't treat you the best in the past. That maybe you were good for them, you know, maybe you had a good relationship, and they don't want to be reminded of that either. But if you reached out to them, they would feel like you're in a good place. You know, they would feel like you are the best thing that ever happened to you and that you could have been the same to them, you know, if only something didn't go wrong in the past. So we also have concealed power. Give birth to the wonder of revelation. So if you reached out to them, they really do feel like you would reveal something. And that was clarified by the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords. So reveal something that may make them feel, I don't know, betrayed, not heartbroken, not lost, but sad. You know, with the Seven of Wands, Ten of Wands, maybe sad that you've come out on top. Maybe the way you handle your responsibilities, maybe you're kind of doing well, but they feel like you would reveal something good about yourself, you know? And finally, we have finding the path. You are the driver and the navigator. You know, they would kind of see and they would feel that you are definitely in control of your life, that you're taking the lead in your life as well. Maybe that you're finding or that you found the right path for you, and it may make them feel some kind of way, you know, if they actually kind of fully realized and, you know, heard it from you that you are in a good place or definitely headed in that way, you know. But anyways, that is all I have for this group. I do hope it could resonate. I do hope it could be helpful. But I'm wishing you the best. All right, please take care. Bye. Hello, welcome to a reading. If you've chosen the second group, the clear quartz, then this is for you. Okay, so the person on your mind, how would they feel if you were to reach out to them? Interesting. So we have Six of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. All right, that's a lot of earth energy, right? So how would they feel if you were to reach out to them? It honestly, it feels like they would be very happy if you would reach out to them. You know, they would want to see how you're doing, they want to see how you are, you know, they would want to see what you wanted, and not in a rude way, but like, oh, you know. But you know, what is it really? But it's like a surprise, but you know. Anyways, but they would make sure that interaction was grounded. They would want to be civil, you know, they would want to be kind and, you know, depending on what you had to say or what you wanted, it feels like they would act appropriately. So if you had good news, it's like, okay, awesome. If you, had sad news, they'll be like, oh no, like, but they would be very compassionate. It feels like they'll be very grounded. They would be very receptive, but they would be detached almost, so trying not to get too invested too soon. They would think that you had something to say about yourself, maybe needing help, needing security, but it's just like maybe like if they saw your number or saw an email from you or saw your name come up on their phone, like their first thought would be, okay, maybe this person needs my help. um so yeah, they would feel like you had something to say, something to ask. They would try to discern what exactly your intentions are in reaching out to them, so they would be cautious, but they would treat you with respect and kindness. They would be calm, they would be happy to hear from you. um and it feels like if you were to reach out to them once, they would be really happy to hear from you again, from time to time. Like things would progress slowly, between the two of you. Like, say for example, if this is someone you used to speak to every day, you guys could call each other up at random times of the day, and have it be a big deal. Like, it wouldn't be like that, again, if you were to reach out to them. Like, maybe it would, they would feel hesitant and kind of um opening up that type of relationship, the type of relationship that you had in the past, if that makes sense. So again, it just may move quite slowly, especially if you did want consistent and regular contact with this person. But they would think you're reaching out to them because you're in a better place now, maybe in a good place, mentally, emotionally, and personally. They would like the attention that you're giving them as well. Like, they would really be flattered, or like, oh, this is like such a nice surprise that you have reached out to me. They would also feel like you're curious about them as well. Like, there's a part of them that would hope you're reaching out isn't just for, like idle chit chat or just to ask them something. Like, they would hope it's not just a quick thing, like yes or no, okay, and we don't speak to each other again. They would hope you're reaching out to them to, to have like a grounded, maybe consistent connection, even if it does take a while to build up to that again. They would hope that it leads somewhere significant. They may not be overly bummed if it didn't. They'll be like, okay, especially when you kind of get used to someone not being in your life. Like, it's really nice to hear from you. Um, but if I don't hear from you again, like, I guess I would understand. But that's not what they would want. Like, this person, they still feel some loyalty to you, a lot of loyalty to you, actually. If you reached out to them, they wouldn't do too much. They would definitely let you take the lead. They would be very practical. And for some of you, I don't know why, but there feels like there would be a bit of jealousy that they would feel, because in their perspective, they feel like there is a part of your relationship that will never be recovered. They would feel some kind of way, maybe about your success, or a success you had a while ago, maybe something that worked out for you. And this jealousy, it doesn't even really feel like it's coming from a place of hate, but remorse and, sadness, time lost, even. They would think that you're independent, they would think that you're sure of yourself. But again, like, they may not feel too happy that you are like this in what they would perceive as very great energy. Why is that? for some of you, they maybe would feel like you were quite secretive about, what you were doing. Like, say, for example, you were trying to achieve something, maybe you kind of kept it to yourself. You were kind of just, hustling. And so they may feel some type of way about that. Um, but yeah, they wouldn't reach out to you again. I don't feel like they would take that initiative if you were to reach out to them that initial time. They would wait for you to reach out to them again, you know, and would be very happy if you did. Overall, though, reaching out to them would be fairly pleasant. A lot of you are actually being encouraged to reach out to them if you feel called to. And there is a potential for it to turn into something more. It feels like you'll be able to have fun with them, and they may be able to fulfill an emotional need that you have as well. Someone you'll be able to confide in. All right, so we have you need some yoga in your life. Yeah, they would feel like you're in a really healthy place. Like they would think that you've taken your healing and some other growth in your life seriously. We also have take a shot. So if you reached out to them, they would feel like maybe you're not too sure about reaching out to them, but they would feel like you're taking, shooting your shot with them basically. And they would feel like you're kind of unsure about whether or not it would be a hit or miss. But it feels like it would be. It feels like it would be successful if you were to reach out to them. And we also have shame, regret, and guilt. Forgive and let that go. So if you were to reach out to them, they would feel like it's completely useless holding on to the past. So whether it is referring to shame, whether it is referring to regret or guilt, they will kind of just want to let it go. So we have accepting challenges, trust your inner resources. Like they may feel like it will be challenging. Like finding that stability with you again. That's what they would want. They wouldn't force it. So they do feel like it would be a challenging accepting you back in their life. Like if I was to hear from you, it would be kind of challenging to maybe kind of build that momentum again, kind of get on the same wavelength that we were on before. But they would be very accepting of that challenge if you kind of wanted to and were consistent with them. And finally, we have find wine. Longing is the portal to wholeness. So if you reached out to them, they would feel like you miss them. It feels like they would think you're looking good as well. Do you have more from this one? But they would feel hopeful that you could get your friendship or relationship into maybe not as like what it was in the past, but somewhere close to that. Do you have more from this? Okay, but that is what I have for this group. I do hope it could resonate, be helpful. But I'm wishing you the best, alright? Please take care of yourselves. Bye. Hello, welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the third group, the Rainbow Moonstone, the person on your mind, how would they react if you were to reach out to them? So we have Two of Cups in reverse, Eight of Wands, and we also have the Strength card. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. So how would they feel? How would they react if you reached out to them? So it does feel like they would take you reaching out to them as an opportunity. It feels like they miss you, or it's like, oh, that's like nice to hear from them. And it feels like they would be, they would take initiative, they would take action towards you as well. They may even be more emotionally available to you than they were in the past. Let me see something. It feels like they would do what they could to keep you as well, but they would move more slowly in becoming more serious. They would act impulsively, they would act very passionately towards you as well. They may be a bit aggressive, especially if they are naturally aggressive, or you know them to be very aggressive, and that's just like who you are, who they are, sorry. Like it feels like they would want to take that initiative. They would want to meet up with you ASAP. They wouldn't be hanging about. Like they wouldn't, wait to see like when you're free. Not that they wouldn't care, but it would just be like, okay, like I really want to see this person now. Like it's so nice to hear from you. Let me see something. Like especially if they would be very surprised for you to reach out to them, they'll be like, okay, let's get the ball rolling. Like they would move quite quickly and impulsively and passionately. And they would do what they can to stay in contact with you. Like if you reached out to them, like they would be happy, but they would do their part in making sure that communication is consistent and keeps moving forward. I mean, if it was difficult for you both to balance each other out in the past, it may be difficult for you both to do that in the future. Like you may even feel like you have bones that you want to pick with each other as well. So there could be some of that going on if you were to reach out to them. Like it feels like there would be like genuine feelings between the two of you, but it would be also mixed with disharmony. Like especially if that was a theme that was present in the past. Like you'll both kind of be trying to be friendly with each other though. But again, like there may be misunderstandings. So it may be difficult for you both to genuinely get along, in terms of miscommunication, misunderstandings, but you both would have a lot of fun together. And for some of you, this could be a person that you never really broke up with anyway. Like maybe there wasn't a clean separation, maybe it was kind of blurry. So maybe kind of you two reconnecting was maybe inevitable. Maybe you kind of just stopped talking, but it was never like don't message me again kind of thing, or I'm gonna block you, you block me. And despite the issues that may be present between the two of you, and that may continue as well, it feels like this cycle, like this time round, would be more positive than the last, for sure. But if you reached out to them, they would feel surprised. They would feel like it's unexpected but pleasant, like a pleasant surprise. And some of you could have changed as well since you've last spoken to them. You could be more confident, and they'll love that on you. They would love that for you. And they will also try to be strong for you as well if you were to reach out to them, or they would want to seem that way in front of you. They would be geeked up to like travel to see you, or for you guys to go out and do things together. Like if you reached out to them, they would be very insistent and kind of, not pushy is not the right word, but they'll definitely be aggressive about wanting to take you on a date, like take you out, spend time with each other. It almost feels like someone jumping straight in the car as soon as they hear from you. It's like, what are we doing today? Like, when you free? As soon as I hear from you, I'm asking you, when are you free? I mean, if some of you, if this person was quite controlling in the past, I feel like that would still continue. So we have, you need a big hug, squeeze. Yeah, man. If you reached out to them, it feels like they would be so happy. They would, be very affectionate with you. They would want to give you a hug. They would want to see you. They would want to touch you, hold your hand, squeeze you. Honestly, they would be like, damn, I miss this. And for some of you, they may actually be confused on why you guys even, um, went your own ways in the past. So, like, what even happened between us? But that's only for some of you. Maybe others of you know very well why communication stopped or slowed down. So we have apologize. So if you reached out to them, they may feel the need to apologize. They may even feel like you're reaching out to them to apologize. So I don't know if this is. So it could be one or the other, or it could be that you both have things to apologize for. But whatever the case, with the Six of Swords being here, it'll be like, okay, let's talk about what we need to talk about so that we can move on and enjoy some good times together, you know? So we also have thoughts. No, we have don't believe every shitty thought that you have. Thoughts can be sneaky and lying bastards. So if you reached out to them, they would definitely want to focus on the positive. So, even though they would be willing and open to talk about whatever you guys needed to talk about, um, they would kind of want to like deal with it, move past it, so that you guys don't have to dwell on the negative. And we also have transformation How would they feel if you reached out to them? So yeah, they would feel like you've definitely changed. They would definitely feel like you've transformed. Like they would definitely feel attracted to this version of you. They would feel like, let me see, that you've worked really hard on yourself, really. And finally, we have beyond the ego, surrender to the flow of life. How would they feel if you reached out to them? So yeah, they would feel excited. They would feel confident if you reached out to them. I don't know about moving beyond the ego though. But they would want to go with the flow with you for sure. But it feels like for some of you, if you were to reach out to them, it feels like maybe there wouldn't be any ego present in, the interaction with them. They would be very like chill, happy, so it's like even if something did happen in the past, it doesn't feel like initially, like when you first reach out to them, they would be holding on to it, so there wouldn't be any ego present. It would be very walls down kind of interaction with them. So yeah. But anyways, that is all I have for this group. I do hope it could resonate. I do hope it could be helpful as well. And I'm wishing you the best, all right? Please take care. Bye. Hello, hello. Welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the fourth group, the rose quartz, then this reading is for you. The person on your mind, how would they feel if you reached out to them, okay? All right, so we have the Seven of Pentacles upright, Page of Cups upright, and we also have the Eight of Swords in reverse. Nice energy, right? Okay, let's see. So for some of you, if you were to reach out to them, they may feel quite indifferent towards you, or the communication that they received from you, depending on what you said, of course. But if you said just hi or something, they would maybe feel indifferent, or how are you, indifference. They would feel honestly like you are a blast from the past. It feels like they did move on from you and that they don't really think about you that much anymore. It feels like, yeah, they're definitely invested in other things right now, so they don't really think about you that much. They would feel like you needed something from them. They would be slightly worried actually about how someone or a few people in their life would react if they knew you had reached out to them. But they wouldn't hide it. This could be referring to someone they're in a relationship with, a family member. It doesn't have to be though. It could be someone else that's close to them. Maybe someone else that kind of knew the two of you, like the two of you together. But you reaching out would definitely boost their ego a little bit. They would feel flattered. They wouldn't react or give you an answer right away. They would definitely want to check in with themselves, check in with someone else as well. Before even saying anything, they would question whether or not they should even reply. And if you would reach out to them, like through social media, for example, they would definitely maybe take their time going through your posts, seeing what you're about these days. They may think you're trying too hard to get in contact with them. Maybe especially if you maybe contact them through like an unusual channel, you know. For some, they may just ignore your message, but they would look, they would question, you know, they would see that you have grown, but it feels like they wouldn't want to reopen that door to the past. They may feel like that you wanted something from them that they couldn't give you. But they would definitely think you are someone that does not give up easily, for sure. Um, they would definitely feel love and compassion for you, but again, it's from like a place of indifference, you know, or detachment. But again, you know, they would be very hesitant or very uncertain about opening up to you or opening that door again. But they would be happy that you're doing all right, or that it at least looks like you're doing good. And if you were to reach out to them, it may bring up feelings of immaturity on their part, you know, uncomfortable feelings about who they were in the past. It could remind them of being naive, or a time they were naive. And if you reached out to them, they would assume you still have feelings for them. Or what's that word? I don't know what the right word is, but they could feel like it could be feelings, or it could be that you still, you know, wanted to, like, they still wanted to no, you wanted to still discuss something with them. It feels like it was very difficult for them to let you go. So again, they wouldn't even want to open that door because so much has changed. They would hope that you have changed though. And you know, it feels like a part of them would want to talk to you as well. Um, but something is holding them back, you know? Maybe the past and not wanting to, you know, kind of revisit the past, bring up the past, or kind of go back, you know, especially if I don't know how things were between you both, but it doesn't feel like they want to relive that or be reminded of what it was like in the past. And if you reached out, they may feel like you had a bone to pick with them. So again, they would be reluctant to revisit the past, but they would feel empowered by you reaching out, and they would think that you needed their help, and they would kind of be hopeful or happy that you're finally free of something or someone, and that you've survived some difficult circumstances. But there's a part of them that would be very concerned that you're not reaching out to them to have a friendly chit chat, you know? And they would feel like you're quite brave for reaching out to. Like, if you reached out to them, it would be kind of like, not weird, but it'll be like, okay, I've already let go of this person. I've already freed myself from this person. The emotions, you know, connected to it as well. So I'm not like trying to, it's like they've cut the cords, you know, they've cut the cords between you two. And it's like, okay, I'm not trying to make new ones, you know, because it could have been very difficult in the past for them to cut the cords in the first place. All right, so we have fuck fear. like initially they would feel really nervous when you reached out to them, but after a while they'll be kind of like, what am I nervous about, you know? But again, I don't know if that would kind of change their mind into actually, you know, getting back to you. So we have that project, that person, that idea is waiting, get after that stuff. Do you know what it feels like? It feels like if you were to reach out to them, they wouldn't want to dwell on that energy, you know? So it feels like they would try to let it go pretty quickly. They'll try to not, it's like they could easily maybe get emotional or, you know, falter in some way if you were to reach out to them. But it feels like, nope, okay, I'm going to stay on track. You know, I've come a long way. You know, I freed myself from whatever it is that happened between the two of you, and I'm not gonna like linger on this feeling or linger on you reaching out to me. Like maybe they'll try to not make it a big deal. And finally, we have get over yourself, pull your stuff together. So yeah, they would definitely feel as though you've grown. They would definitely feel like you've managed to sort your shit out, you know, pull your stuff together. And it feels like they would be genuinely happy for you that you did. But they will feel like you need to get over them or get over what happened between the two of you with the Six of Swords and Five of Cups coming out. So you have trust your gut feeling, let your heart lead you to who you are. How would they feel if you reached out to them? So if you reached out to them, they would feel like ultimately they would need to trust their gut. They would need to trust their, you know, intuition as well on, you know, how or whether or not to even move forward with you, how they would move forward with you if they decided. And, you know, if they did decide to reach out to you, it feels like it may take them a while. You know, they would need to sit on it, but they would kind of let it leave like kind of like let it go. And you know, if there is that deciding moment where they're like, okay, fuck it, I'll reach out to this person, then they'll do it. But it feels like it's purely based on their intuition, purely based on their gut, and how things kind of manifest and, you know, unfold moving forward. And finally, we have celebrate life. Yeah, they would be really happy that you're in a better place. Maybe they feel like you have things to celebrate or you've achieved, you know, big things since you guys have last spoken. So they would feel really happy for you, really. Um, do you have more from this? So yeah, that's all I have though for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it could resonate and be helpful. But I'm wishing you all the best. All right, take care. Bye.